So this is pretty crude, right? But you know what? This is real and raw. Okay, that's what you get from me. Real and raw. I'm real. I don't have time to sit in an office all day and spruce up and wear goofy shirts and act clowny and the things you see Chris Crone do and Grant Cardone does. But this is real. So it's money-making fundamentals that I teach you in my book, Wake Up and Smell the Real Estate, and especially in the mentorship. You know, I already texted a few of my students and shared with them, look, I just got a deal. I talked about this a couple days ago that I had that I was working on something. I was a backup offer. Well, I got it. So now it's mine. It's done and signed. And the property, the assessor's value right at $455. I'm paying $300K for it, and it's mine. It's mine. I'm going to close it in 5 days. I'll make at least $100K on it, probably more, but I always like to underpromise and over-deliver. I never try to overstate my profits or my accomplishments. I don't do it. I'm not going to be an exaggerator. Exaggerator to my life, in this kind of stuff, is a liar. It's a liar, okay? I'm never going to lie to you. And anyways, so I'm very happy about it, but I thought it was nice because I was thinking about it. I thought, man, you know, what I did is something that I've been doing for the last 40 years. And it really is mostly about, hey, Herbert. Herbert's actually one of the people I texted, by the way. He's in the class. Herbert's about to close the deal. He's going to make $100,000 too on something he's working on right now. You know, it's fundamentals. Look, I just got a purple belt. Got a purple belt in jiu-jitsu, so I'm proud of myself. That's halfway to black, and you know I'm 60 years old. You know, and I feel young. I don't feel old at all. But you get there one step at a time, and it's even in jiu-jitsu. A lot of the moves are very basic. That puts you in the best position to protect yourself. You know, you keep your arms, we call them dinosaur arms, keep your arms in. Well, it's kind of relative to a lot of stuff in real estate. You know, you stick your arms out or spread yourself too thin. So, you know, I talk to people, you know, I've been felt like an octopus before, where there's somebody chewing on a tentacle. You know, that happens the more stuff you have. But as long as there's cash flow to cover everything, it's not a big deal. It's just part of doing business. But what I really wanted to say is, I made $100K today. I made $100,000 today, maybe a little bit more. And all I got to do is fork out $300,000 cash, which I know that sounds a little bit pretentious, but it's not. For me, it's not. But I mean, and a lot of you can do that, and a lot of you can't. But it doesn't matter. If you got the paper, the deal that I had today, you could come to me and I'd give you $20,000 to take it off your hands, and I'd make 80. I'd make 80 with my money. You'd make 20 with your brain because you got in between the money and the deal, and that's what you do. And so listen, don't waste any time. If you don't already have this book and you've watched me more than 2 or 3 times, what are you waiting for? Listen, there's a great lesson in here, and I talk about the mentorship. It's something I had to listen to. I still hear the woman's voice in my ear. He who hesitates gets left at the starting gate. He who hesitates gets left at the starting gate. Don't get left at the starting gate. This is $10-20. Anyways, get the book, but if you don't, I mean, I don't even want to think about it, because I can't believe how dense you got to be not to take advantage of something like this. So anyways, Liam, good to see you in here. Liam's also a student. You know, he's sitting on $500,000 that he didn't have 2 years ago as a result of putting these fundamentals to work. So anyways, I'm really happy, and you know, I'm happy for my students. Liam just had his closing the other day. Herbert also is about to have a closing. He's a little nervous, but he's still going to make out like a bandit. He did well, and that's what's out there. And you know, listen, this is what you're not going to see from a fake guru. You're going to hear him talk, oh, deals, I made a deal, but no details, okay? No details. And I show you guys just about everything. I'm a little cryptic at the moment, but I've got this thing signed, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm not going to show you the property until after I close it. But listen, those of you in the class, by the way, I am going to show you the walkthrough that I did on this property before. So get in the class tomorrow. Those of you that are in the class, we've got a mentorship meeting tomorrow, 10 a.m. This is a private Zoom meeting, but I'm going to walk you through. I'm going to show you the thing, and I'll go into more details of how this money was made, or how this deal was made. I haven't realized the deal yet, but I can tell you there's 150 grand there on the table, so it's a no-brainer that I'm going to make at least 100, and that's what you got to do, folks. Get in between the deal and the money, or get in between what somebody has and what somebody wants, and there's the money right in between. So very just anxious, and happy to share it. And a lot of inquiries. People say, when am I open up the mentorship again? Look, it's open. I just haven't been pushing it. To be honest, I've been so busy running between deals, properties that I'm working on, and I'm talking about properties that I already own. I've got a lot of lease renewals. I probably have $55,000 more a month coming in today than I did 6 months ago. And it's just the game. And I want you guys to be a part of that. I want you to but you got to start. You got to start somewhere. And I've got a lot of property, and you think, oh, gee, that's so far away. You're not standing there looking at a cliff. Listen, one deal you make 10 grand. Next deal you make 20. Then it turns into 40, 50, 60, 100, 200, a couple million. It's like that, and it's fun along the way. There's no reason to be discouraged and think you're looking at Mount Everest. It's not that way. You make money on the way up the hill. It's making money on the climb. I've got two boys just turned 19 years old today, and the last thing I would ever do is ruin my kids with money. None of them are getting my wealth. They're not going to be born with a golden spoon in their mouth. They're a silver spoon, as they say. They're going to earn it. They're going to. I would never deprive them. That's the fun in life. It's the trip. It's not knowing if you're going to make 1,000 or 10,000 or 10 million. It's the ride. That's what's fun. Is the ride. You don't know. My students could make far more money than me. In fact, I expect some of them to do that, especially the ones that are younger. The ones that are younger than me, listen, even some that are same age as me, you can still go on and outpace me and make more than me, because you have home runs along the way, and sometimes they can be really big home runs. Really, really big home runs. Hey, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I try to share everything with you. I'll never lie to you, folks, but please help me out. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Let me know what you want to hear about. Any kind of real estate deal, any kind of property details. You can ask me any question you want. Some of it may be none of your business, but for the most part, I'll share anything on details that I can. And I just can't emphasize enough, there's no better way to make money than real estate. There's not a quicker, easier way to become a millionaire than real estate. And I'm living proof of it, and now many of my students are too. And so don't miss the boat, and just do it. Anybody got anything going on? How about you, Liam? I know you closed your deal. Herbert, you're closing hopefully middle of, I guess, within 2 or 3 weeks. Actually, I got a call from Michael in the class today. Also, Garrett's got something going. Sounds interesting. Eric is in the midst of a deal too. And, it's wonderful to have such a fantastic group of people in the mentorship that are becoming my friends. All these guys have become my friends and gals too. Tina and Dahlia and Anne-Marie, I don't want to leave anybody out, and Christine in San Francisco area. There's just not a better group, folks. Listen, if you've got $5 grand, okay, I don't want your $5 grand, but I'm saying, if you've got $5 grand in the bank and you've got some sense, then get in the mentorship. You're going to spend a couple grand to get in my mentorship, but you're going to have a mentor, not just a stack of paper saying, here, figure it out. You're going to have a mentor. So do it while I can still do it, while I am still young enough and sharp enough that I can share this with you. Because once I call it quits, I don't know anybody that can teach you what I teach you. I don't know anybody else out there, except maybe, down the road, some of my students will have lived it. But again, a lot of my students are close to my age. So listen, get busy working on your wealth. Get busy thinking about the future. Many people don't think about the future. They just sit there and cruise, and nothing be sadder. And you young guys, listen, I tell you, listen, I turn people down that want to get in the mentorship if I think they're immature, if I think they're stupid, or if I think they're not going to make it. I don't want to take their money. There's some people I'll, just for economic reasons, I'll say, you know what? That's why I say, if you got $5,000, listen, I don't want to take, if you had $2,000, I'd say, don't even bother. I don't want your last $2,000. I don't want it. Listen, but there's guys out there that'll tell you anything. They'll say, go borrow it from your mom, go borrow it from your dad. And then you're sitting there with no seed capital and a bag of paper trash that's going to get you nowhere. Liam says I got 12 years on him. Yep. Well, hey, yeah, and that's, so look, I'm 20% older than you, right? Or you're I should say you're 20% younger than me is what we should say, Liam. But, listen, everything should be numbers. Think in terms of numbers on everything. And you'll believe me, I tell everybody, I kind of relate it to the Matrix. Once you get done with my course, believe me, it's kind of like, the Matrix. You'll be kind of looking at things in ones and zeros and dollar signs, okay? When all of a sudden the vision changes from a crystal clear color picture, pretty soon it's kind of green and white and ones and zeros, but you kind of get an idea. That's what it's going to be like. That's what you're going to see. You're going to start seeing things through my eyes, and believe me, that's where you want to be if you're concerned with making money. Listen, if you want to write poetry, if you want to be an artist, I'm not your man. I can't help you with that stuff. You want to go find yourself? I'm not that guy. But if you want to make money, I can show you how to do that. I can help you get there better than anybody I know, especially in real estate. And if that's what you want, and believe me, once you get there, you can do anything you want. I'm about to go, listen, I learned to skateboard when I was 50, and I'm about to start flying again. I'm looking at airplanes too, actually. I may even buy a plane. But in fact, I even thought about, that'd be the ultimate man cave, right? Is have a cool little car and a plane, okay, in the man cave for doing the videos. But not that important to me. Main thing right now for me, I am shopping a sports car. I told you guys I'm probably going to get a Porsche 911. I'm looking at a I think it's called a 997.2. It's a GTS 2012. It's more of a collector's item. It's just flat badass. It's just before they went all digital, but so it's kind of the last of the analog type cars, or semi-analog and digital. Just freaking all's ass. What they did is they took all the remaining parts from that line that they've been building for the last 10 years, and they decided we're going to take all the bells and whistles and the extras that we have in the warehouse, and we're going to put it on this car to sell this car. And I think I see my girlfriend walking toward me. Anyways, so so anyhow, she's not thrilled. Oh well, no big deal. I think I know where she's going. You know where I think she's going? I think she's walking to her son's house, which was a deal I flipped over to him. And that's the beauty. In fact, folks, sitting here right now, I bought 4 houses on this street, including the one that I'm sitting and facing, 2 behind me, 1 down the street here. I bought another house over there on the next street. I bought 2 houses behind me. I have 1 on that street over there. I bought 2 now. I bought 2 more a little further down, and I got another one even further back behind me. And I went about a half mile away. My point is, I could hit 4, 5, 6, 7. I could throw a rock and hit 7 houses that I have owned, that I either still own or that I have owned in the last 3 years and made money on. And I can't quite throw a rock far enough to hit the one that I made $100,000 on today. But that is what's there. Don't fool yourself. Have faith in yourself. Believe in yourself. Everybody's different. You don't have to be the most educated. Believe me, you don't have to be. You just need the education you need is kind you can't get in school. It's not the something you're going to get. It's a mentor that makes money in real estate. It's an entrepreneur mentorship. There's nothing else. You can't get that anywhere else, folks, unless you're just very, very fortunate. Ben Mall is one of those guys that got to work side by side, and he was the muscle, and he was the guys. He was the go-to guy for this guy. He had a mentor, and Ben will tell you that's what really made the difference in him. Ben is a little bit younger than me, and he's quite a bit richer than me. And he did it in less time than I did, okay? But it's because he had a mentor. So anyhow, listen, I can park now. I can take any questions. Anybody's got anything? Did you see the video I commented? I did not, Delta. You may have to, why don't you remind me again, buddy? I've been super busy. I am looking at multifamily with a 9 cap. Nice. Good, Liam. Yeah, that could be interesting. Oh, $475K for what you're talking about buying? Or is that what your leftovers are? Cool. Yeah, anyways, guys, try to get in the class tomorrow if you can. Saturday, I know you got family, you got things to balance. I understand. My kids are grown. It was very nice to see all my adult children around me today. And, like I say, life can be really sweet. It can be really, really sweet, but you got to plan it. You know what? I remember Jack Lipkowitz. He was a guy that had a place in Florida. I lived in a shitty trailer park. Well, he rented a trailer, or he bought a trailer in this shitty little trailer park that I lived in. And I remember, I thought he was the coolest guy. He was friends with my dad, but he worked at the same air base my dad worked at. And he had a little Jeep. But he only was there working in the trade. He worked there. In other words, he came out into the desert where I lived out in Lancaster, California. He just worked there. So he got a cheap little trailer, which is where I lived. He lived next door to us. And he just came there. He had a little house there, and he worked. And I remember he said, well, I'll see you, kid. He said, I'm heading out. I said, what do you mean? I'm thinking, you don't live here? He goes, no, I live in Florida. Because I live in Florida. He goes, I got a place by the beach. He goes, I just come here to work. And I said, man, you got a place at the beach? He said, yep. And I remember he had a toothpick in his mouth when he's talking. And his last words, he said, yeah, you got to plan it, kid. And he put it in gear, just like a movie. And he goes, you got to plan it, kid. And he drove off into the sunset in his Jeep with the top off. And I thought, man, that guy's cool. And he was cool. And, and listen, it's wonderful when you got somebody that'll open up and share with you. I had another mentor, John Brooks. John Brooks was explaining to me he's closed one of his businesses, bought a shitload of real estate. He's kind of in the position I am now then. Okay? This is 30 years ago. And he was, but he treated me like a peer. He was honest with me. He didn't worry about telling me that, he made tens of millions of dollars at that time. And in fact, when he died, I think he probably had over 100 million. But he treated me like a peer. He didn't worry about hurting my feelings, telling me that he had a lot of money. He just treated me like a buddy, like, man, look at this, look at this, look at this. And he was 40 something, and I was like 22 or something like that probably. And you know what I mean? He treated me like a peer. He treated me like one of his millionaire buddies. He was talking to me just like that. And I appreciate him so much for that. And I'll tell you what, he died way too young. He died when he was 60. I'm probably older than he is now. I'm probably older now than he was when he died 10, 15 years ago. And I can tell you, he was such a good mentor and such a good guy to so many people. Part of the reason I want to make my legacy, helping young men or old men or whatever, women, children, I don't care. Anybody that wants to make money, anybody that wants to make money in real estate, I want to help you. But you got to do the work. But that's what John was to me. He was just open book. I could ask him anything. He'd tell me. I didn't know to ask some of the questions I wish I would have asked him. But he died 60 years old of a heart attack, and he just built a $5 million home on Seal Beach. $5 million home, probably 15, 20 years ago, whenever he died, and which should probably be like a $20 million home now. I don't even know. But he built his dream home. He made it there. He got it. Keeled over dead of a heart attack. So that's how fast life can change. I could die. I could be that guy. I'm a type A, right? I'm a type A personality. I could die like that too. So get your mentoring in from me while I'm still alive, and I can still do it for you. You guys know, look, I got a mother with dementia. My father died of Alzheimer's. I hope that doesn't happen to me. I hope that doesn't happen to me, but it could happen. It could happen. So let's look. We got some more things popping up on the screen. Let's see. Gus Fring, I had to guess. They aren't looking to hold on to too much debt. Let's see. I'm not sure which. Jermone says, I saw a report saying BlackRock has ceased all their real estate buying. Yes, they did. I don't doubt it. And you know why? Because it doesn't. They're mostly retail buyers, to be honest, those guys. They aren't going to be as selective as somebody like you or I, where we hold the reins on our own money and our own property, and we're more selective. We demand more profit. We like to make more. We have to. And that's why it's so silly to go give your money to one of these funds and let somebody take half of your profit on your 4, 10, 15, 20,000 you put in, whatever. It's silly, because you could be taking, listen, investments less than 100 grand, you should be doubling your money, doubling it. Like this house that I'm buying right now, I'm putting $300K out, and I'm going to make over $100K on it. I have cash. Doesn't matter. Even if I didn't have the cash, I would go borrow it. I would just go borrow it, and I'd make the same, less a little bit of interest. You can do the same thing. It's not that hard. It's listen. You have to establish yourself as somebody that knows what the hell you're doing, and having good common sensibilities and just knowing basic math. That's all you got to do. People think that, and goofballs that make the fake gurus, they try to allude to that, like they got the magic dust to make it happen. Listen, they don't even know what the hell they're doing. I'm telling you, I don't think Grant Cardone could mentor anybody. I think my students could do a better mentor job than Grant Cardone or Chris Crone. These guys simply collect money from the public to buy real estate, and then they get the pleasure of splitting the profit with you on the money that you bring in. Now, Delta, my strategy is what I'm showing you. He's saying, Delta says, what are the strategies for the recession? My strategies never change. Buy under market. Everything I buy is worth more than I pay for it. Things could be worth $400 yesterday, and today they're worth $350, let's say. Everything's worth $350. So whatever I do is based on $350, not $400. It's not based on what things were worth 6 months ago. It's based on what they're worth today. So, listen, it's out there. Listen, you got to believe in yourself. Look, I know a lot of people. I'll tell you what, I didn't come from money, but I did have a wonderful dad. I had a dad that loved me, believed in me, told me, son, you can do anything. And I believed him. And I know some of you didn't get that, and I apologize for that. I mean, I'm sorry that for you that happened. My dad, I lived in a trailer park, in a crap trailer park, okay? It was so shitty that I was in a Charles Bronson movie riding my Stingray bicycle once, and my job was ride the bicycle behind him and Cherie North and Randy Quaid in this shit station wagon they were driving. And because the trailer park that I lived in looked so shitty that it looked like Tijuana, Mexico. So it was supposed to take place in Ensenada. Watch the movie Breakout, where he flies a helicopter into a prison and breaks somebody out. That was the gist of the story. I got paid $5. Everybody on the bicycle got paid $5. That was before they had to pay anybody decently for being what they call an extra. Anyways, that's out there. And I got my girlfriend in the periphery of my vision, so I'm going to start speeding it up. But listen, get the book. Start with this. Okay? You can be listening to it in 2 minutes. Get on Audible. Order it get a paperback book. Get all three. A lot of people get all three. Guess what? When people buy my book, you know what they do? They buy it for somebody they love. They buy it for their kids. They buy it for their brothers. They buy it for their parents. They buy it for their kids. Anybody that they really care about, they do. That's the biggest pat on the back I could get from anyone is the fact that somebody believes so much in the book that they actually use it for a gift and give it to somebody that they love and trust and want the best for. So listen, get out there and make it happen. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, go to FlipAnythingUSA.com right now. Don't hesitate. Time kills deals, right? He who hesitates gets left at the starting gate. Go to FlipAnythingUSA.com right now. Take a look at the mentorship. Get this damn book. I'm going to check things tonight, and I'm going to be frustrated if I don't see some action in there. But, based on the numbers that I see people even watching right now, 10 of you at least, if 30 of you do. But the fact is, the masses are the asses. And to be quite honestly, probably only 2% of you. 2% of you will probably only buy. What are we talking about? We're talking about less than one person. There's a chance one person out of the 34 watching, unless you already have the book. But new people, the people that are new here, won't do it. They won't do it. Listen, people know, even all the fake gurus know, they know that their courses, when they don't have mentorship, which they can't do, they know their books just collect dust. That's what they do. They collect dust. You call up and you get a 15-year-old or a $15 an hour guy that doesn't know shit, and you're saying, hey, what do I need to do? I need to talk to Chris. I need to talk to Grant. And you get told, go to page 45. That's how you do it. Okay? You guys believe in yourself. I'm telling you right now, every personality is different. You can negotiate, even if you're shy, and it's not all about negotiating. There's so much more to it than that. But you got to start. You got to start. So get started. I'll see you guys in class tomorrow that are in the class. You guys that want to sign up, we'll see you soon. But go to FlipAnythingUSA.com and get going. Thanks. Have a good evening. See you.